So I am Bhavesh Sureka, host with Global Education News. Once again, presenting you, I'm bringing you a very eminent personality, Dean of Ashoka Women's Engineering College, Kurnool, Mr. Muralidhara. Sir, welcome you to the show's podcast.
Thank you.
Principles. Our basic aim is leading today, inspiring to tomorrow. So what we wish that whatever knowledge you want to share with the future leaders, future deans, directors, principals, okay, this is a platform for people, eminent personality like you to speak more about Dr. Muralidhara. He is a dean with Ashoka Women's Engineering College. He was a project manager with Tech Mahindra, Bangalore. He was also a senior SAP consultant, Zenser Technologies. So the very first thing I'm going to ask you, how do you really find this shift in this kind of a multiple role, like from corporate, pure teaching, pure administration? Okay. How do you see this transition in your life?
So definitely, Bhavesh, it is a unique journey. Going back one step behind, I'm an alumni of RV College of Engineering, Bangalore, in the chemical engineering section. Then afterwards, I worked in Aditya Birla for around 16 years. So it is a pulp and fiber business. And in the year 2006, due to my personal reasons, I had to move to city. Whereas this industry is located in a semi-urban area in Karnataka, that is Davanagere. So my option is to move from industry because due to my daughter's medical support.
Okay.
So that time, many of my friends who were traveling to SAP domain, that is IT sector. So when I said to them that this is what my current problem, they said, yes, you also can join SAP. So that is a totally a paradigm shift for me from manufacturing to IT, where I am not so conversant with a computer that time, knowledge, and it is a major bold step for me. And
which year was it, sir? Which year you shifted from manufacturing to the SAP?
From 1990 to 2006, I was with the industry.
Okay.
And 2006 end, that is starting of 2007. So I moved to Hyderabad and started my journey with Zenser Technology as a junior SAP consultant.
Okay. And from there, you been to the
then from there, almost 12 years I was with IT. My next school was with Tech Mahindra, that is Bangalore. It was a very nice experience working with Tech Mahindra Giant, is MNC Nestle project. It has given a lot of life learnings for me, apart from my professional as well as working with major clients and other areas. Also, I want to add in my manufacturing, I was associated with many world-class manufacturing practices. Like I was with practicing group leader for the Toyota production system, that is TPS, and I was also a certified Green Belt Six Sigma. So I did run many projects for the industry, which have given a very good improvement in the quality in the both manufacturing as well as in IT also. And in the year of 2020, after COVID, so then there was a constraint moving into the again traveling for SAP. Then due to the household requirement, I moved to the area that is education. And since then I'm traveling in education. And again, it is a third sector I'm working. So this is a unique and shift of domains, the question that you asked.
So it's wonderful introduction, sir. It's wonderful, really inspiring how a person has adapted from manufacturing to IT, now IT to teaching domain. Okay, it's totally turnaround. Okay, so that's why we have a wonderful topic called the student success equation, insight from a dean, because you've been to both the verticals, industry as well as academia. So what only has happened, sir, in today's rapidly involving scenarios, students undergo a tremendous social and emotional pressure from peers, from teachers, from competitions, from news, from social media. So many things keeps on happening there, which influences the life also. At times when they are preparing very hard, okay, they really come across the news, lack of jobs, lack of particular field, the field is going to end up, okay, new emerging fields are coming up. So, a lot of emotional trauma, mental trauma also accompanies this 4 years of graduation, BTech. So my very first question is, okay, just give me brief. Very first question is, it's part and parcel of your life. You can say, and I can say at this particular age, okay, we've been through a certain path and a process also. But when this young, our future leaders, when they are going through it out, how should they handle it out? This particular changing scenario in a lot of dimension. Okay, like just a minute. When they were in 10th, coding was good. The moment they're in college, we all are talking about AI. So coding has taken a backseat, though it's not a different. But now a lot of video they see, like if you're an AI expert, you don't need a coding. So I can say my 4 years been wasted. Okay. So just give me a brief about it. Like how do you tackle as a dean, okay, as an industry, how do you handle it?
Yeah, definitely. Current youth is having many avenues, not like a decade back, where whatever you studied and almost it coincide with the industry requirements. So as the technology globalization advanced, many latest technologies are emerging out there in industry. And whereas when it is coming to the academia, there are a little changes happening that matches to the changes that are happening globally. You said rightly the technologies. Okay. Coming to the students, where current situation. First, they should understand their strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. Not to go by the latest terminology, technologies they heard every day. So be selective and follow the instruction from the mentors who are well experienced and they know what is happening outside. This is the
Okay.
first message I want to give.
Oh, that's great, sir. So now let's start with the very basic. How do you define success for college students in today's life? Very simple. Like you can be bilingual also, sir. I would love to be bilingual. So a lot of people our reach will be more. So it's not hard and fast. If you're comfortable with Hindi, it's okay. Otherwise, well,
No, I'll maybe wherever appropriate, I'll put it in Hindi also. And
sure,
convert that with.
sure.
So as I said, the student success mainly depends upon first level is attitude to learn. And I'll
Okay,
give only two mantras for the
okay,
student community. Whatever you can do, that is, you have all the resources, that is, do it. That is, in Japanese, they call it just do it, JDI.
okay,
Wherever you cannot do, you do not have a stretch, then you take a support.
okay.
These are only two mantras that any student, even maybe in the working profession also, should take up and go forward. And there is a third mantra that we should avoid, that is approach of JCB, that is justifying, complaining, and blaming. So this
Oh,
attitude will not work, and no way in your life cycle you should adopt
sir,
this.
you have
See,
given a
one,
very unique name for JCB machines. Justifying
so
complaining.
why I am using the terminology? It is easy to understand and it is catchy. So avoid the third mantra, stick on to the one and two mantra. Yes, then
Okay.
life is just ahead and goal is very near.
So what I'm asking is, sir, that the question which I was asking is, what do you think the biggest myth in surrounding the success in students believe? What is the
So
biggest myth they encounter?
yeah, the
So
biggest
that,
myth among the students,
yeah.
what they think and what they carry from the plus two or CBSE, the grade they get in their campus, that is institution, from the
Okay.
university or a board, they
Okay.
think that the number will play a major role in getting the right employment. That is a number one biggest myth. And they
Hmm.
are not aware of the turbulence, the global changes that are occurring outside the campus. This is the main problem with the students, even though they are connected with the world, with the internet. Now, wherever you go, internet is there. There is no place internet is not available. And they
Yes, sir.
have everything in their hands, but they do not have the direction
Okay.
based on my academic excellence, which way I should go and what are the avenues. This is the biggest one I prioritize myth for the students.
Okay. So in your experience, in your experience, are today's students more career oriented compared to the previous generation?
Yes, definitely. Because
Okay.
you take a decade back or decades back, where we are all dependent upon the employment that is published in the newspapers. Hardly you might have seen in the Google or somewhere where widely there are opportunities for the employment. Now you are getting every information at the click of a button, and it is on your hands wherever you are carrying your smartphone. So this is the biggest advantage, because I'll tell you my way back, my after my graduation, which has happened in 1990.
Okay.
We were depending upon only employment news. I think you must be heard of that one
Yes, yes.
magazine that was coming, that is across India. We were referring that employment news and selecting to my degree that chemical engineering. Those days, all major Navaratnas, all these major companies, they were recruiting graduate engineer trainees. So we
Yes.
used to apply and travel. I traveled to Jaipur. I want to travel to Bombay twice for work, and I traveled to Nellore for ISRO. So why I'm mentioning these names? Those days, even though I got 72%, which is a called that time a distinction in the Bangalore University, but opportunities are many. There are less people available in the education outside where industries were looking in. Now number is taken almost 99, 95%. That is percentage that students are acquiring. And also equally, opportunities are not gone to that multiple volumes. There are
Okay.
opportunities, but they are selected with the right skills.
So right now you are dean in Ashoka Women. It's pure women college. Okay. How do you see them? Because they are competing in this. How do you see them? Like, what are their aspirations as compared to you would have gone to somewhere poet college or a all boys one? How these girls are really good? Like you really feel that no, they are better.
Definitely, all these aspirations are towards the IT domain, where everybody wants to have a very lucrative or a selective IT industry that they wanted to try to. And another one I want to differentiate, today's education system, we are employing or we are educating
Okay.
students of different domains, civil, mechanical, electrical, like that, computer.
Okay.
But ultimately, the path is chosen is only IT. There are other domains where still India is growing very fast and there are a lot of opportunities. And definitely, if you go to the competitive exams, there are many opportunities. We are encouraging the students to look into these different type of paths apart from the IT, not to restrict into one domain.
Wonderful. I would like to share a report just we accessed while we were planning this podcast. This is by Future of Work Institute, FWI. So the future of work, that skills and success in higher education. So they surveyed 1,000 college students. So the very thing they talk about definition of success is, उन्होंने ये बताया कि 70% equate success with the salary, while 50% prioritize personal fulfillment and work-life balance. Okay. Now there was a recent controversy also when one of the IT stalwart told that is 70 hours you needed, not. So, and second, like the second thing they came up with after this survey is soft skill shortage. So according to them, 85% of the employees recent, like graduate lack essential soft skills such as communication skills, teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking. Third is like what they were into, the misconception about career path. They were just following a straight line. Okay, so that again a very huge chunk, 60% of them. Then changing job market, 65% of employers noted that today's graduates are less prepared for real world challenges. Okay, they everything they want to do it on a laptop and other things. Okay, so career oriented, 80% of students expressed strong desire for a career oriented program, but only 45% feel adequately prepared to enter the workplace. So let us further dive into it. Okay, this is something very important. So, like we are going through kind of a social and emotional challenges right now. Okay, so I hope you you might be watching movies also. Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to it's something very simple. Let's make it quite interesting, sir. So you have to think of villain or a character, actor in a villainous role, negative role. Okay, which comes in your mind when I say a word. Okay, social isolation. Who would you put it?
There's a human.
A villain. Uh, when you talk about social, that minds who represent the same thing.
That is, you are.
What I hope you love watching movies when you're free and
Yes,
all this.
yes, correct.
I'm asking the right question then.
No, so
Social isolation, like which negative character you see? Okay, social isolation, like for us when we talk about any this what this movie came of Amir Khan,
yes,
Gajnab,
yes.
like was socially isolated. Okay,
But I'm not remembering that name of the film. Amir
okay,
Khan was almost he was having the child behavior, and
yeah,
almost he was acting like as if he doesn't know anything, and he
yeah.
was inclined to play with the children. Minds. That is a totally isolating himself with the age group of his own. So that is one
So,
character I remember.
why I'm asking it out this thing? So we learn a lot from movies, is it, sir? So at times these are few things we have taken it out, which are hurdles for a successful person. So at times, because of social isolation, I take few steps. I'm fear about it. Okay. So have you seen any movie where you've seen any character or a villain and anything? So second, let me ask you second. Fear of failure.
Yes. Fear of failure, if you are asking me to connect with the film.
Yeah. Current or old one, anything, sir?
Okay. Maybe I can recollect one Telugu film where is a villain. He never accepts any defeat.
Okay.
He goes to one village where he tries to buy the land which is owned by poor people, and he wants to start one mineral extraction, very big this thing.
Okay.
And during that process, hero happened to be an environmental engineer, okay, studying in the university.
Okay.
He happened to travel that area and see that many bulldozers are moving there and a lot of environmental collapse is happening.
Okay.
So when he tried to challenge that villain, so he says with the mindset, I don't face any defeat. Whatever I wanted to buy, whatever may be the money, force of rupees I spend. So this is a character where they don't bother about what is happening surroundings. They wanted to achieve what they want.
Next, sir. Anger management issues. Gussa bahut aata. So these are very pretty small things, but they destroy one's career.
Yes.
Okay. And any character or you remember, like you want to portray, you want to share it out, just because of fear of anger management issues, this wonderful person became a
Yeah, one film where it's not the I don't say directly linked to the anger of a parent, but
Okay.
it is a one way of another thing. Parent is taking over caution about the life of his child. It may be a very soft way of handling, and rarely he shows anger to his son, and he goes on to the uh, uh, individual of day to day of that child. It is a grown,
Okay.
not a hero. Which dress he has to wear, and which meeting he has to go, and he doesn't understand. He wants to take up his business, or he wanted to go independently as an entrepreneur. That also he says, and the story goes on like that. When this man goes to the village and fall in love with a girl there also he interferes, says that you cannot marry. So like that story goes on. And the end of the day, it's the final emotion scene of the movie. Son says, you have spoiled my life by taking over. You have put almost umbrella, and never sun is not falling on my head. And you have spoiled totally. And today, even you are not allowing me to select my life partner. So this is one simple example. You can correlate how parental influence is happening in today's generation of young minds in India, or largely in the semi-urban and urban areas.
Wonderful. Substance dependence.
So that is
Substance dependence, addicted sort of a thing.
Depending upon the parents or something like that, or
no, substance dependence. Parent is one of the things, but like other things, like drinking, vaping, okay, other things. Too much into it. Too much dependent on the substance abuse, what we call it.
Okay, and it is a villain role. That particular role in the film.
Okay.
He influenced by his father politically.
Okay.
He carries the father domain and whatever the arrogance and whatever you call it, and he doesn't leave anything coming in his way to reach his political help, going to the heights of the political.
Okay.
And finally, that's again end of the any film. We see a collapse of the villain and the winning of the hero. But that type of mind, where with a carry forward of image of a maybe parent or their siblings, So they go beyond without seeing the situation around them.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you, sir, we all have seen this movie Three Idiots, and it has been redirected and in several languages. Okay. So it is more about institutional pressure, the parent pressure, okay, society pressure, earning, making making a way out. Okay, these are the things. It's a very powerful story that reveals negative impact of a rigid expectations on students. So how have you, as an educator, as a dean, okay, I take dean as a individual of an institution who transforms. He sees something as rigid. Let me give a slightly flexibility so that things work better. So, would you like to point out or share anything where when you joined it out, you saw it's very rigid. Let me do a bit of here and there with screw and panas and all these things. Like,
So I wanted to recall one of the uh, uh, session where Kapil Devji was giving answer to one particular question from the audience.
okay,
So I'll just tell you in Hindi. It is a more catchy
so
in
it's
when
fine. It's
you know.
fine. So, message
So
is more important.
so कपिल देव जी ने इसमें उसको ऑडियंस को ये बताता है ये बच्चे स्टूडेंट लोग जो कम्युनिटी है वो ज्यादा प्लेजर से जाना चाहिए प्रेजर से दूर रहना चाहिए ये फर्स्ट थिंग ही सेज ओके
Okay,
एंड ही गोज ऑन सेइंग पहले हमारा जमाने में पेरेंट लोग डांटते थे जो कुछ गलत किया थप्पड़ मारते थे एंड हमको सही रास्ते में जाने के लिए एक मौका और रास्ते दिखाते थे
hmm,
अभी का जमाने में क्या हो रहा है बच्चे को हम लोग डांट नहीं सकते उसको बेंच के ऊपर खड़ा नहीं कर सकते वो गलत किया तो उसको पूछ नहीं सकते देन दोबारा ये प्रेशर कहां से पैदा हुआ
okay,
बाप ने आपका फीस भर दिया आपका माँ ने आपका पूरा देखभाल कर दिया फिर
hmm,
ये पूरा छोड़ के आप कॉलेज को जाना है पढ़ाई करना है फिर ऊपर से कैसा टूट पड़ा ये प्रेशर सो ही गोज ऑन से इट्स अ प्लेजर वी शुड स्टार्ट इनकलकेटिंग नॉट द प्रेशर सो आपका प्रश्न के लिए ये सही उत्तर है आजकल ये हम लोग बोलते हैं अभी ये 1997 के बाद में जो बच्चे लोग पैदा हुआ है वो जनरेशन जी और 2012 का जो पैदा हुआ है वो जनरेशन अल्फा
हाँ,
तो ये कैटेगरी में क्या है बहुत सेंसिटिविटी ज्यादा है पेरेंटल केयर ज्यादा है सो इसका वजह से बच्चे लोग एक छोटी सी तकलीफ और क्या बोलते हैं उसको स्ट्रगल लेने के लिए बहुत सोचते हैं और दे फील ए प्रेशर ऑन देम बिकॉज ऑलवेज देयर हैंड्स आर कैरिड होल्ड ऑन एंड टेकन अवे बाय द पेरेंट्स सो दिस इज व्हाट
nowadays what you see that one more thing is like coming up. Every kids want do not want to be entrepreneur. Every kids want to be entrepreneur, not a scientist or a explorer or an inventor. They say, let me do engineering, AI ka model liya and go for a pitch. Rather putting it out, let me invent something, establish it out, then let me go for a manufacturing unit.
yeah
It's because of what you were telling that they do not want to take any extra pain or because pampered upbringing हुई है उनकी.
इसमें दो चीज है आई थिंक
हाँ,
what the government of India is pushing towards the NEP concept 2020 where
okay,
more of critical thinking problem solving and innovation ये तीनों चीज प्राइमरी स्कूल से ये बच्चों को पढ़ाई में ज्यादा ध्यान देना है ये तीनों स्किल
okay,
ज्यादा इनकलकेट करने के लिए
hmm,
फिर आपका जो क्वेश्चन पूछा ये एंटरप्रेन्योर स्किल सो
हाँ,
दीज स्किल्स का जो मन में आता है जब आपका क्रिटिकल स्किल्स अच्छा है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच है एंड रिस्क टेकिंग फैक्टर है तभी जाके आप एक एम्प्लॉयर और एंटरप्रेन्योर बनेगा नहीं तो most of the time I tend to look at the job holding on degree one hand and acquire some momentary skills required for the employment, then
Okay.
get into the job.
So, like in Three Idiots, we saw the pressure was there on students to face challenges in societal expectations. Okay, this is the parameter. If you do not go here, what will happen to you? This is salary amount. So, how do you think this pressure manifests in today's like college students?
तो इसके लिए मेरा एक सिंपल मैसेज,
Okay,
let us say I completed a graduation and I acquired
okay,
some technical skills, that is C, C++, Java, Python, which are basic skills required for the most of the IT industry, and also coding part.
okay,
Okay, this is one side of the mirror, and there are other emerging technologies coming in the market, and they are penetrative maybe after 5 years, 10 years, like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, then cloud, cyber security goes on. So as a student, I am a fresher entry into the industry. I
okay,
should be able to correlate whether I should go with the conventional technical courses that I have learned and travel my journey, or jump into the emerging technologies which are still a beginning, because these technologies industries are taking somewhat experienced people. They are not very less options for the freshers. So here students should be wise enough to take a step, not
So,
to
so
jump into
can
the.
you share one of such examples, like what you did in the college? कुछ ऐसा आपने किया है? See,
Okay, one is awareness. That means
अच्छा,
students should be aware of these emerging technologies and what is their penetration, how they are growing in the outside digital market. So
okay,
one such exercise we are doing in our institution every month, one or twice, we are having expert talks from the industries, those who are
okay,
working in the major MNCs across, maybe from the outside country or within a country.
okay,
And I'll quote some of the sessions that we conducted. One is on mobile applications, and
okay.
another on cyber security, and another on electric vehicles. How the electric vehicle market is moving, what are the employment, and another on VLSI. So like this, with these students will understand better if somebody working in that domain and speaking, rather than you read out from the books, this is what the technology says. So this is one exercise already we have started since January, and it is giving very good results of in terms of making the students understanding of the outside situation.
So, tell me, as a dean and educator, how do you shift focus of from like focus from grades to holistic learning and personal growth in higher education? What are the things as an educator or as a head of an institution should do it out? So there will be more of holistic growth, more of a satisfaction.
Yeah. So again, it is a involvement of the student community in the extracurricular activities. You call it as a college fest and hackathons. Conducting the recently we had a one AICTC initiated projects delivered. They are given one theme on cyber security, and
Okay,
they given choice for the student to select one topic and present their case study. 4 to 5 students joining. So like that, recently we have nominated around 16 batches of students
okay.
for this competition, and we called a judge from the industry,
Hmm.
apart from our professors, analyze, understand what students are presenting. So this is the way students will inculcate, and not only inculcate, explore what are the opportunities. They go and Google and they talk to the mentors, and finally presenting in front of the industry person, it gives a different feeling for them because they are talking to the person outside the campus.
One more thing. Now, your college in the outskirts of a city, town, Kurnool. So how do you see the changes and the behavior of the students in your institutions? Okay, how do you adjust? How do you mix that inclusivity that from town, from villages, the growth is very harmonious, so learning becomes maximum. How do you nurture that kind of an environment in your campus, like, or as a dean, what would you advise upcoming educators, leaders? So these are the techniques one can use to nurture harmonious and environment
Yes.
in the college institutions.
So basically, I'll put it in top 2, 3 areas to have this type of uh, alignment of students from the seniors and juniors. And
Okay.
definitely ours is almost we have a major count of the students staying in the residentially within the campus. And when it comes to the interaction, all the semester and batches of the students, third year, final year, and second year, they're all staying in one place and they don't have fear of talking to each other. So the day one onwards, they are with their friends, understanding the area, demography, and openly talking without any hesitation. Because आपका जो दूसरा मॉडल पूछा था, when all the students are traveling from the city or so they come and sit in the class and go away, and after 5 o'clock and they don't talk to each other.
Stay in the campus.
Fear of that fear तो निकल जाएगा इधर हमारा इसमें.
आपका बचपन कैसा रहा सर? आपका बचपन लाइक आपके बारे में आपका बचपन कैसा रहा? मतलब
मेरा
कैसे ये लाइक एक एक जो लहर चली थी उस समय इन आवर टाइम्स, ओके, कि भाई साइंस ही करना है या यही करना है, कैसा?
मेरा ये एसएससी 10th स्टैंडर्ड जो खत्म हुआ 1980 में, जब मैं ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट हमारा ये मैं कर्नूल टाउन में रहता हूँ, बाजू में अराउंड 140 kilometers away from Kurnool, Anantapur is another district where I studied my 10th standard.
Okay.
So उस समय मेरा up to 10th standard मेरा पूरा तेलुगु मीडियम में एजुकेशन हुआ. तो तब तक मैं इंग्लिश में बात करने का मेरा कुछ भी मालूम नहीं.
Okay.
So मेरा मदर का एल्डर ब्रदर who was a deputy secretary that time, and he survived for 97 years. Now he is no more. So one day called my father. What he is doing? My father said he has completed SSC and what he wants to do. That time I was trying for polytechnic. So वो time में polytechnic के लिए 425 marks कुछ आना चाहिए. मेरा तो 370 marks आया था. So I am not eligible for polytechnic seat, and those time only government polytechnics colleges were there. The next option intermediate. Then intermediate करने के बाद इधर science करना है, नहीं तो commerce करना है. Then next is either BCom or a science graduate. This is a cycle. Then my uncle said to my father, so all my siblings, the children, they're all graduates, BCom. And they are all going for banks and all. So I'm seeing they are not listening to me. So you send that boy to me. I wanted to join him in a college where they have started a chemical technology courses. That time, very rarely we have this type of focused education. We have only commerce, degree, history, science. So then he pulled to Anantapur. And forcefully, that time I am not interested to join there, but he said, nothing, you have to join. So I
got hold of your ear and just put it, got you admission.
Yes.
Jana means Jana.
Oh, Hyderabad is around almost 30 kilometers away. That place now is almost, it has become a part of the city. That institution name is Loyola Academy. And almost, it is a now to be university. It has grown very big, and that institute is mainly meant for promoting the employable skill education. That is, you name a veterinary, it is there. Agriculture technology is there. Chemical is there. So purely a market or industry-oriented courses they were running since that time. So that is
Okay.
a journey I started. And you asked one question, communication. So
Okay.
necessity is the mother of invention. So
Ah,
that time it's a Christian institution, and they also don't know Telugu. We are forcefully allowed to talk only in English. There is no other alternative. Like that,
okay.
we have developed our speaking skills, and
Okay.
that is the one game changer or life changer you call it for me. Even though we had a lot of struggle there, we had only no conveyance from the city buses, and so many constraints were there. But uh, the struggle I faced there, that has given me a ladder. So whenever I get any obstacle, I don't find it is obstacle. I find it is an opportunity. That's what
Challenge.
my journey has continued from there.
So I know of a softer side also. I was seeing it. So you used to volunteer for Ambika's Issue Kendra, a special institution for differently able children. How this thing happened? Like when it started, what are the changes you saw it? मतलब कैसे हुआ सर? Like it's quite interesting. बहुत कम में मिलता है. I can see it in the place where a person is from sociology background or this thing. But really, like I am seeing you voluntary at Ambika Sishu Kendra. बहुत पहले से शुरू हो गया था कि अभी शुरू हुआ सर? When it started it?
So actually, one of the reason why I moved from the industry after serving for almost 16 years in Aditya Birla Group, where I
Okay.
was able to reach a senior management level.
Okay.
That one of the reason is in 2002, I had a child born in my family with me.
Oh.
She was diagnosed after 2 years that she has a rare syndrome that is called autism. So those
Okay.
days, in 2000, nobody was knowing this word, and nobody was. I think if you say 100 people, only 6 people were knowing about autism. Nobody
Okay.
knows what, and there is no medicine, and it is a syndrome. As I said, it is not a disease.
Yeah.
So from
It's a
here,
syndrome.
our journey started, and we went to All India Institute of Speech and Hearing in Mysore. It's a very South Asia. It is one of the biggest institution where they take care of this type of rare disabilities, hearing, speech, this type of, and they have very good facilities. So from
So
there,
you,
our journey started.
okay. So you work in the field of autism
Yes, and
because of a personal connect.
yeah, then we were thinking how to develop this child, because we have a limitation of our place where we are staying in Davanagiri. There
Okay.
are no schools and all. Then 2006, 2007, this opportunity of moving to the city with joining the SAP IT domain. Then I moved to Hyderabad, and we got treatment of children. It's not a treatment, got the message how to nurture this type of children. So since then, I have done lot of research study, and we went to Hinduja, and wherever a premier institution is there to get advice. Then finally, we found one place in my native itself where we were not knowing. Where is a institution that is called, just now you mentioned Ambika Shish Kendra. It is
Okay.
been, it has been running since almost 3 decades by a
Okay.
charity institution of one of the entrepreneurs in Kurnool. They traveled from Gujarat and settled in Kurnool, Andhra, and they have started this institution for a differently abled children, and they also giving support to the this autism children also. So like that,
Okay.
I made my family to join, stay back in the Karnool, and get my education to the student, my child, and like that I uh, inclined myself to the volunteering mode. How other parents who have similar children can get benefit out of our experience of almost 18, 19 years traveling with the artistic child. So myself and my wife, she is a major player in my part of life because almost supporting, taking care of the child is not a easy task
Yes,
because
sir.
he was knowing handling a normal children of two in a house, parents feel a lot of stress and handling a
Honestly,
children.
hats up to
Are,
both of you. Like the
yeah,
continuous struggle and not apart from that. So the major part is like which has taken me is like you are helping others also.
yes, yes.
Okay, so
I
you're spreading it out,
continuously
the awareness.
we whomever we consult our this thing, we educate the parents and we say you don't go and fall into the trap of a medical world. People say we cure everything, but certain things cannot be cured. It only
True.
developed. Skills can be developed and make them independent in their life. So today our struggle, my daughter goes to special school at 9 o'clock and comes back at 4 o'clock with taking carrier, everything as a normal child, but
Okay.
she cannot express herself, but express by gestures. And we
Gestures. She
parents
might be
can
good at
understand.
painting and other things
Yes,
because this
she is good at stitching and
stitching.
Diwali this दिया उसको ये पेंट करने में वो अच्छी तरह जानती है और ये
Okay.
this institution they have a departmental stores and they
Okay.
supply this non-plastic bags to other areas to support these children. And she stitches all these bags in the school itself. She is good at stitching these bags.
Wow. Both. That's very. So now we have come on to segment where I'm going to ask you questions. Not of a rapid fire round. Excuse me. But it can be a sentence or a word, whichever comes to your mind, appropriate word. Okay. So let me start with the very first thing. Okay. So it's just a fire kind of a round. Okay. How do you feel this what we have started global education news principle initiative to take your knowledge, create a knowledge bank, okay, and share with the rest of the educators fraternity and other things.
Yes. So, Bhavesh, main thing I wanted to say, experience matters. Whatever
Okay.
may the technology advancement, the person who has gone into the struggle and what the pain he has taken to come out of that and sharing that pain to the real world that is today's environment, what your global education news is doing, sharing to the community. And it is nothing that it is a direction. So I'll tell
Okay.
you one simple my experience of IT industry.
Okay.
After moving from manufacturing to IT, so I was given assignment in one of our project that is a very prestigious project for the Tech Mahindra, that is Nestle project.
Okay.
So days are gone, service has taken 3 years, 5 years. So one fine day, customer said, yes, you have been doing service very well, but you're not attending our pain areas or addressing our pain areas. What is the pain areas? SAP is a ERP which is used by the Nestle end users across the globe. Whenever they face any problem, when they're doing the transactional data entry, they get stuck. And resultant is they raise a ticket. In IT, they call it ticket, and they submit it, and it comes to our service Tech Mahindra service provider, and our consultants will solve the problem. This is a cycle. Let us say the general cycle. So what customer has identified, let us say today we are generating around 10,000 tickets. What is that as a service provider you are doing to reduce the number of tickets raised by the end user? That means what education you are giving to them so that they will not commit basic mistakes, enlighten their knowledge, and very wise enough to do a SAP transaction of business movements. You can say
Okay.
logistics, goods in, goods out. So that was a challenge to the company. Then the challenge was given to me. Then I did my all the experience, previous experience of this total quality management, total productive management, everything, Six Sigma. Then we adopted the focus improvement model already with the client that has been percolated to our consultants, and we are successful in reducing the number of tickets, first thing, and number two, we are successful in raising the customer satisfaction index by 1.5%. So
Okay.
I think you must be understanding raising a 1% of customer satisfaction is a very huge task.
Huge.
So that was yes. So this one I wanted to say, my real-time experience of my previous company or my working that has helped the IT, even though I am not fully knowledgeable with the technology, but I am knowledgeable with the processes and methodologies and able to understand the pain of the customer.
So my first question to you: so what's one word that defines your vision for this college, Ashoka College for?
Yes, the
One word.
only vision is to make the students outgoing from the campus with a degree as well as right employability skills, and they are good enough to take any challenges in the outside industry requirements.
So can you name any strategies, two strategies? You think these are the first and second or first? Okay, that most effective in motivating today's college student.
Strategies, first level, involve them.
Involvement.
Yes, involve them. Mainly allow them to voluntarily talk. Basic thing what I am understanding, generic, my perception or my observation is there is a shyness, nervousness among the young youth to express. They feel out the other person may think something wrong when I talk. So first thing is that's what we are telling communication. So
Okay.
this communication is you said 70% or 80% employers are seeing that communication is the biggest barricade for getting into the higher roles or getting better in the career success. That is the first thing. Second thing is have a more camps, boot camps,
Okay.
hackathons, other type of activities that will make them a team player and also allow them to use the critical thinking abilities, and it will unearth everybody's abilities and
More of a
also they
collaborative approach. Collaborative approach.
collaboration and
Okay.
multidisciplinary task. That is NEP 2020 major. They highlight this type of activities. And another thing is internships. Be more practical. Go to the industry, understand before you go actually for the job.
Okay.
Environment. Okay.
Okay. So how would you describe in today's challenge students in one sentence? Like, the biggest student challenge they face in one sentence.
Today's challenge, they dream very big, but when it comes to the action, very less efforts are seen.
Okay.
So very high dream, low efforts.
Okay. Next, sir, if you could introduce one unconventional subject to the curriculum, what would it be and why?
That is the habit of respecting the others, maybe their views. First thing is acknowledging it, and whatever the support, help you are getting, maybe you from
Character
your
building?
junior also, from senior also, say thank you, express, and
Okay.
be smile always. Keep your
Okay.
face. others will come and ask you, how are you? If you are putting a very serious face, nobody will come to you. And another thing is social awareness. So I said, I had a
Sir,
child with a problem. So
sorry to
understand the
interrupt.
social. Yeah.
So out of this, if just one unconventional subject, you say this is I would like to implement, introduce in my curriculum.
That is
Just one out of three which you just spoken about. The behavior, the
social,
respect.
social community related aspects. That means
Okay.
what community is facing outside. And
Okay.
another equally important is financial literacy at the early schooling itself. They should know
So
what
now,
is money.
okay. So what is your favorite way to unwind after demanding day at the college? Like, what do you think? What doctor, what is the nurse does on Sundays? Like, oh, it's a tireless week, or let me do this. Next 30 days, I will not get time for myself. What do you do, sir? To just unwind yourself, like to relax.
That is, if you understand correctly, what is the pleasure activities that I carry out? Is it like that? Or
Hobbies, like any hobby
yes,
which you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. If you come to the hobby, yes, definitely. I always think what best I can do for the institution, that is Ambika Shish Kendra, that is the first priority. And
Okay.
one thing what I did is I connected this institution to the uh, Ajib Premji Wipro Foundation. They are
Okay.
supporting institution for a capacity building and training. And second thing is I volunteer visiting a rural schools and wherever the skill development programs going on, and I volunteer to share my knowledge of all the 3 decades of experience I carried out to
Okay.
make them aware of importance of education given. Even it is given free of cost also, but you
Okay.
should be caring that whatever the education
Yeah.
is given
So to
and
make society more inclusive.
yes, inclusive and
Okay. So what a book every educator should read to understand. Can you name any book to understand student better? Gen Z is
uh,
better. Zen Alpha is better. Like Zen Alpha.
I'm
What
not.
do you think?
One is habits. One I'm not remembering the author name.
Seven Habits of a Successful Leader.
Yes, yes. 7 habits of the successful. This thing. That is one major thing. And one more is a father and son. But there is one book. More or less, that books goes on saying, father wants to show that child how the country environment is there. He
Okay.
wants to take it out of the busy city and shows how the life is outside. So that one of the I'll quote one of the small sentence that
Yes, sir. Please.
asked the son. So after seeing everything countryside and all, he'll ask the son, son, what is that you enjoyed outing? No, your countryside and all. What is that catching? And son says, father, in our house in the town or city, we have a walls. Here we don't have walls, and there is no separation between the humans. And another
Okay.
thing is, there we can see only lights, TV, and other latest gadgets. But here, countryside, we can see the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what he says, another third point is, there we know how the water is run from the pipes and we are using it. But here you can see a big lake where water is gallons of water is stored. And another thing is, fourth one he says, the ambience of the atmosphere. I am
Okay.
just open, and I can many ideas will come into my thoughts. There, I am sad and I always thinking myself, and most of the time spending time not doing something which I wanted to do. That is, negativity is more in my house. So these are all the major things that
Okay.
boy says to father.
Great. So if you could have a lunch with any historical figure in education, who would it be? And what would you discuss?
So my first preference will be the educator who started his journey from a teacher and developed from school to college, college to engineering college, and build up a very good educational empire where still the basic values that he started with the institution are still exist in the campus, and his desire is to give a highest quality of education. So that type of human being I want to interact, because many life learnings can be understood by the person who has seen all types of generations,
Yes.
not one type of generation. So this is one way, because I am doing it. Actually, I am doing it wherever I meet the senior educators. My first question is, I am a very
Any of the historical background, like if you see that this is a person whom I want to meet.
historical. Historical, maybe I cannot directly say one person, but mythological saints.
Okay.
Okay, wherever I go to this samsthan,
So okay.
that is run by the one set of mutt. We call it in South mutt.
Okay.
Matha. So I interact. I may not be able to meet the number one person who is there, but his fellow followers, I interact with them, and I understand basic life living. How you are able to live a simple life? That's the first question of mine. Because today we have everything, but we have a complaint that I don't have something missing. But I want
You
to
might be getting lots and lots of push answers for that.
yes.
Okay, just let me cut it. Suppose if I give you a magic wand, Jadoo ki chhodi, okay, and you can do one thing from it. So it says ki Muralidhara sir, one wish is there. What would you like to change in higher education system intensely? Like just right now, instantly, like that magic way. This is given, this is done.
Okay. Bring a more real-time learning into the campus,
Okay.
and equally give the importance to the academics, but more weightage what the person who is employing is looking at. That flavor should come to the university or colleges.
Okay. So what is the most rewarding part of being a dean at your college?
Bhavesh, can you repeat?
What is the most rewarding part of being a dean at your college?
Yes. First and foremost is a satisfaction.
Okay.
Whatever I do, I deliver
Okay.
to the expectations of our management.
Okay.
And the amount of sharing knowledge that I give to the students,
Okay.
it goes with a less talk and more of actions.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I am going home with a carrying that, yes, whatever experience that I carried many years, that has been discharged from my brain, and I have a gap to fill up my brain.
Okay.
There is a gap so that I can do some learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Very
So
well.
that's
That's wonderful. What is
that's
the biggest myth about being a college dean that you would like to debunk?
myth. It is not the policing. Definitely, people are
Okay.
very intelligent today. Every student, young minds, they know what are their do's and don'ts. So do not enforce anything which this young generation try to show some resistance. Try to get into the shoes and understand their pain and bring the change. Change is the toughest thing any organization bring, because it involves a lot of people, processes, and demographically, many things are associated. So
Okay.
get into the shoes of the customers. Here, customers are students, and bring the process of change in a incrementally, not a day. It may take a year, it may take a 2 years, but it is a sustainable process.
Okay. So how do you want to say, how do you see the role of AI shaping the future of higher education?
The first thing I wanted to say, AI, yes, it is a destructive technology. Why I am using destructive? It is taking over repetitive, monotonous, and laborious tasks. And
Don't tell me,
other
sir.
way,
People are mad about AI.
yes, definitely they're mad about AI. But
Yeah.
once you start using, you definitely get the result of it. I am using AI in maybe my email writing or writing some
Okay.
content writing. And here, don't try to copy whatever the AI gives output. You try to
Okay.
do your human intelligence, due diligence, and extract the information and put it. Ultimately, you are the boss of your own decision. That is the first thing. And second thing is, don't afraid of AI.
Okay.
Definitely, it is going to create a jobs, not to take out any jobs. And third and important point is prompt engineering is the one word I use it here. AI giving output based on certain uh, intelligent questions that you are asking. Do
Okay.
not write what is my name. AI
Okay.
cannot understand. And I'll tell you one simple example.
Okay.
If this AI, all the data that you are giving a front end, giving explanation, since I think September 22, the data has been uploaded into the system and it is reading the data prior to that and it is giving the information to you. If you ask any changes happened, who is the CEO of certain company, and he tries to go back and see previous information and tell you the answer. That means it is a data driven approach. It is not traveling with you. And one tagline I want to add here,
Okay.
why AI and machines, robotics are advancing, because humans, we are hooked up with mobiles. That means we are spending a lot of time, maybe I can say 3 to 3.5 as a survey says, student community using gadgets, that is mobile.
So, Addy,
So,
sir, yes, yes, please, sorry to interrupt you. Please carry.
so mobile humans are hooked up with the mobiles. Other side of the coins, machines are learning. That means I have seen one beautiful pictures. One robot is carrying books at his arms and it is learning every day. But whereas we are not improving our knowledge, we are just diverting our efforts and energy to the internet and other mobile occupation. Yeah.
Sir, can you tell me in one sentence, was there any particular cohort or a group of students that has made a notable impact on a college community? Like anything you remember, well, this batch was good. They did something, and like as a teacher, we always remember this 1971 batch was good. They made a huge impact. Then came after so many years this batch. Anything you remember, sir, of this college?
One particular instance, I'm not that much
Okay.
because I'm not much into the academic teaching and all.
Okay.
It's a other area. Definitely, there are some instances where I listen from our seniors that
Okay.
students are met somewhere in the outside, like city Hyderabad and all, and they are happy whatever the education has given in the campus and what they are now. So that type of incidents that my seniors share, yes, definitely this gives a lot of satisfaction ultimately to the educator.
Okay.
Whatever is giving the knowledge and is going to the right direction.
So before moving to the next part, I want to ask you something right. These days are going on a internet, reels, shorts, and all these things. Okay, maybe a sort of things. A lot of big tech people, okay, CEOs, MDs, they are telling, or they when they talk to the students, they are telling, why waste 4 years? Okay, so what is your take on it? See, when they say he at being $1 billion company, $100 billion company, $1 trillion company, when they talk on such a big platforms, and they look down as not important to go to the college, should be wasting 4 years here and there. What is your take on it? Like as a dean, do you feel bad, or you say no, this is not true, or some it has to be more clear or clarity?
Definitely, lot of clarity is required. Excuse me.
You can have water, sir. So you've been continuously talking for past 1 hour.
I think first step in this direction is NEP 2020.
Okay.
Lot of changes has been brought in that total structure of that process.
Okay.
That is the beginning, because it has been happening over decades of educational system. Because I heard in many debates and all, Nalanda, Takshashila, we are a guiding beacon in education for
Okay.
other world nations, that we have all the cultural as well as educational values. But over a period, we are stick on to some type of a framework and going this way of teaching. And a day back, I was hearing one of the debate where in Germany, a student studying in the school or college, periodically after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of academics, they are supposed to go to the nearby industry and spend some time there. So it's a
Okay.
parallelly they are learning in education and also acquiring the industry skills. So that is one way of system in the Germany, as somebody was telling. So
Okay.
there is a long way to go. If you are going to such a type of creative or a practical environment, definitely we are going to achieve a bigger result, because as a number says, every year 1.2 crores of people are looking for a job.
Job. Yes, sir.
So do we have that much absorbance from the industry? It will be a IT or a
So
BF.
now I'm going to ask you MCQs. Okay. It's just the best take. Nothing wrong or right. So what's more important for a student future success? Critical thinking. Second, good grades. Emotional intelligence. According to you.
So critical thinking, definitely, it is
Okay.
the first priority.
First point. So in your college, okay, so sorry. If your college would excel in only one area, what would you choose? Academic excellence, sports and physical development, arts and creativity.
So definitely, arts and creativity stands first.
Okay.
Then equally, sports, academics. Yes, they are into the system, and with a push or a time spending, they can read and come out of that district. Because my experience, I say schooling, we spent 70% in the ground, 30% in the classroom.
Okay.
I remember my school days.
Great. So, which is the biggest challenge in education today? Adapting to a technology, mental health issues in the students, or teachers burnout?
When it comes to the educational point of view,
Okay.
it is adaptability, to the changes that are happening outside. That is globalization, digitization coming out, and we are not tuning our way of teaching pedagogy to meet that requirement. That is one thing I can say.
So if you had to select one, which would you promote more at your college? Personalized learning, collaborative projects, or experiential learning?
One is collaborative learning. Definitely, it is on priority
Okay.
because I'll tell you just small extension of this question. When they are going to the IT environment, they are
Okay.
talking senior, middle management, and many technological experts. So when they inculcate the habit of collaboration in at campus,
Okay.
they take less time in getting adjustment to the work environment.
So if you could change one of these things in education system, which would it be? First, outdated curriculum, overemphasis on exams, rigid class structures.
So definitely, it is a curriculum change required.
Curriculum change.
Because in a day, we cannot change the curriculum. Slowly bring a incremental changes so that more uh, occupation of this outside industry requirements are built in.
So, sir, if you are given unlimited funding in dollars, billions of dollars, where would you allocate the most of the resources? First, teachers training and development. Second, student facilities and infra. And third, C, that is technology integration.
First priority, train the trainers
Train the
because
trainers.
because they are nurturing future brains and identifying the right skills of the students. That is the first priority. Then definitely followed by the bringing in the center of excellences in the premises of various technologies and other
Which
areas.
type of which type of students would you prefer to have in your college? Academically brilliant but introvert, socially active but an average performer, or highly creative but undisciplined?
One is adaptive and they are socially mixing. That
Active
is
but an average
active.
performer.
Yes, even then average performer. Because
Okay.
and definitely they learn out of a cycle, life cycle, remaining
Okay.
skills.
So what's harder to deal with, like in a college? Parental interference, student disengagement, or teacher dissatisfaction? Stuff one.
I think
Which is harder to deal with. Like,
engaging the students and making them very busy of
okay.
not only just hearing, doing something practically. Sessions like a lab and coding labs or any hackathons. This type of uh, spending their energy, creative energy. So that type of tasks are very challenging. And it gives a result, definitely. All these engagements are going to give a lot of energy. And I'll tell you today's session morning, we had one awareness session on the vigilance, observance of Vigilance Week by Central Vigilance Commission.
Yes.
So we had nearby Power Grid Corporation officials visiting our college and explaining about the importance of ethical practices and integrity and also corruption. We should not
Okay.
encourage corruption. And they encourage students elocution, that is telling their views on these topics. And out of 16 students, they selected 6 students and they were given prizes. So this type of activities make them more involvement and also they feel proud. I have taken a prize in front of my 80, 90 students. So that type of they bring their moral high and they tend to be more interested when they are clocking into the college at 9 o'clock. and they keep that high level of energy till
You are really inspiring me, honestly. You are really inspiring me. Why? Because we have launched the creative careers, design fest. Okay. Government of India is also putting a lot of focus on design. So that a developed country should have their own designs. But the moment we talk about Japanese design, German designs, now Chinese design, they were American designs. They have their own durability and facts. Okay. Seeing your like openness and the way we would definitely would like to come down to your campus and host a designathon for graduated, like we'll be moving on to the post graduation. It's basically it's an inter activity. So why? Because in India we do not appreciate designs,
yes,
and designs are the most important part. From pen to paper, paper to aeroplane, aeroplane to atom bomb, whatever talk, it's design. So the very first thing we talk about designs. And in India, when we talk about designs, we talk about pen and pencil. उससे क्या होगा? Is it going to be livelihood? But most of them, they are not aware that this design domain is the very fastest growing domain in Indian economy,
yes, yes.
next to the biotech domain, biotechnology. So this is what we would love to come down to your college and have a designathon. Let the
And
creativity zoom out.
yeah, yes, definitely. We'll see the opportunity. And coming to the, you have said that design part, because the idea turning into prototype, prototype is when experts are reviewing and
Yeah.
becoming a small tool of no, practice, and again going for the bigger design. And I think I heard, I read in the news, India within recent days has gone in big way in startups, and many of the NRIs who have left India, and they are preferring to come back to India and start a startups, and that is happening. And huge way startups are coming up. This is a very good sign of nation prosper towards the latest technologies and due to the developing world path.
What is the most pressing need in education today? First, you have to choose one. Better mental health support for students. Second, more inclusive learning environments. Third, innovative teaching methods.
Learning environment, and to add to this, I say mentorship.
Mental health.
Yes, because students, they cannot catch up which way to go and which is the right path. Mentors will understand their skills and their creative thinking, and they put it in the right track. So these two go parallel.
So, how would you like to be remembered as a dean? A transformative leader, a compassionate mentor, or a disciplinarian who upheld highest standard?
Till the day I continued my sharing of knowledge and my, I can say, happy what I feel, and I continue to wear the hat of a student first, not a dean.
Okay.
And second is, I wear a hat of continual learning and learning till whatever the journey you carry out in your particular academics or education line. This is what I want to
Which
continue.
would you be rather more focus in your college? First, reducing academic pressure, encouraging innovation in classrooms, building a strong moral classroom.
First is innovation.
Okay.
Definitely, it is a, because why I say innovation. I recently I come across many of the stories in some
Okay.
Tiruvannamalai. One ninth class student has developed one idea where remote villages are getting electricity by solar and some innovative idea. So thinking early stages a student possesses, unearthing and bringing it into the shape and taking it to the ideal path. That's why innovation plays an important role. And again, definitely morals is a supporting. One should have a right moral to
Okay.
success in life.
So, if you could invite one of the following to give a talk at your college, who would it be? First, a Nobel Prize winning scientist. Second, a world renowned artist. Third, a successful entrepreneur.
Definitely a successful entrepreneur.
Okay.
He has gone through all the troubles and seen the ups and downs of the market and economy and financial. Definitely, his knowledge share will inspire the students to be a successful entrepreneur. That is the first thing I can say.
Now, honestly, uh, Dean, Mr. Muralidhara, discussing this challenge is vital for understanding the holistic needs of students and developing effective communication. It's really wonderful and pleasant talking to you. Thanks for your timing. You took out time from your very busy schedule. Okay. I hope this talk of wisdom will help a lot of educators and students so they can understand which is a better for their life, which is not the better. So people like you do make a difference. Once again, sir, very good evening. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaveshji, for
Thank you.
your time and identifying me to be eligible for this talk.
So
And
you
first,
always been a jam, sir. You always been a jam.
and
Very
also
straightforward person, very humble, but
my thankful to your GBN team, and I've gone through your website. A lot of work has been done in education, and I shared that link to my some of the counselors, career counselors. They
okay.
felt an opinion that lot of information is there in education. So
Okay.
your site is doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
Way
Thank you
forward,
for appreciating.
definitely it will grow in a multiple volumes, GBN, and give a lot of uh, career direction to the young minds and making them more into the entrepreneurial role rather than employees. Thank you,
Okay.
Bhaveshji, for your
Because,
wonderful.
sir, at Global Education News, we believe only one thing: one who reads leads.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's something. And reading is knowledge, not subject.
And final message I wanted to give the
Yeah,
student
please, sir.
communities:
Welcome.
never stop reading and never stop learning. And two major things: skilling, reskilling, upskilling,
Okay.
learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is the two major success factors. The long journey that any individual, it may be a student
Any
to
last mantra? Smile like you have a wonderful smile, sir.
last mantra:
Yeah.
do not fall into the zone of comfort.
Okay.
And, do not enter into the zone of pressure.
Okay.
Share whatever pain you have with your friends and parents and your well wishers. Be active and a very controlled environment. Use mobiles and
Okay.
spend the time in reading books. This is my message.
Once again, thanks a lot, Dr. Muralidhara. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you. Thank you for your time. And your team also has done very
Yeah.
good work in organizing this event. I'm thankful to them also.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Thank you. Bye.